Hey guys, welcome back to Gringo BBQ. I'm your host Noah, and today we are making my wife's favorite appetizer and a guaranteed crowd pleaser. We're doing jalapeno poppers, so let's dive right in.
Barbecue and tequila.
All right guys, so today we're doing one of my favorite appetizers and seems to always be a crowd pleaser. These are jalapeno poppers. They're not going to be overly spicy, so you can, feed these for the masses at like a party or get together or whatever it might be, but are going to be packed with flavor. And I'm going to teach you guys how to level them up a notch, both with the flavoring and the cream cheese, but also what pairs well with seasoning the bacon on the exterior. So let's get to making the cream cheese first. All I did was squeeze just your standard pack of cream cheese. Today we got Philadelphia cream cheese in here. What I like to season with my cream cheese with, if you don't have this, but I like to use Meat Church's Blanco. So essentially what this is, if you don't have this at home, just do some pepper, salt, and garlic powder. Anytime I have that combination, whether it's on mashed potatoes or I'm just making easy chicken, Meat Church's Blanco is fantastic. And I don't know what they put in it besides those three ingredients, but it tastes really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and season. You can be a little liberal with this. You don't have to just lightly coat it. Add a good amount in there. You're not going to over season it or over salt it. That's what mine looks like as of right now. Now, another thing I like to add in there is a different kind of cheese. So in our family, we always seem to have shredded Colby Jack, but if you have shredded cheddar, whatever it might be, go ahead and add that in there as well. Excuse me, the pepper from that is strong. All right, so that's what it looks like right there. Now, as you guys know from my videos, I obviously have a full bar. So if you have some sort of muddler that you use for making old fashions, that works fantastic with mixing up the cream cheese. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and use. But otherwise, just use a couple forks or a couple knives and start massaging the cheese and that seasoning into the cream cheese itself and just kind of mashing it around. All right. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get everything blended in together. I'm actually going to go ahead and add even just a touch more Blanco to that. You can see here it looks pretty good, but I just want to make sure that that inside part of the cream cheese got seasoning as well. Cool. I'm going to give it one last mash and we'll be good to go. All right, cool. So it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what my cream cheese looks like there. Just blended the cheese and seasoning in was the main goal. So I'm gonna set that off to the side and we're gonna get the jalapenos ready. So guys, I learned this lesson the hard way. I personally wear contacts and I will always wear gloves when I'm using jalapenos now. I remember one of the first times that I made jalapeno poppers, I did not use gloves and did not have them. And I went to go take my contacts out at night and my eyes literally burned. I was like in the sink washing my eye out. So highly recommend these gloves. You can get them on Amazon, Target, wherever you shop. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set these off to the side. And I'm gonna slice the top, hold it up top, and then just slice right down the middle. Now guys, when I'm at the grocery store looking for jalapenos, what I'm looking for is jalapenos that have some length on them, but also some depth, so that when we're smoking the cream cheese, it doesn't all just puff out of the jalapeno itself. So that's gonna be one there. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of these. All right, cool. So now that I have these all cut in half, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a small spoon from my kitchen sink, and right at the top where the jalapeno is, I'm going to work it behind there and then just slide down. Pulls that all out. Now, if you leave some of the seeds in there, that's obviously gonna add more heat, but these aren't gonna be overly hot, so even my wife, who doesn't have a super high spice tolerance, really loves these jalapeno poppers. But just to show you one more time before I kick into fast forward mode, slide it behind there and then just scoop on down. Makes it super simple and you get everything out in one scoop. All right, cool guys, so that took me, roughly a minute, not too terribly long, but got those all out. I'm gonna kind of brush this off to the side here. Toss these over here. All right, so now as far as going to fill the cream cheese goes, let's move these over here. I'll actually take this cream cheese out and set it on the cutting board itself so you guys can see. But scoop that right there. Yeah, cream cheese looks really good. All right, so all I'm gonna do is, it's just gonna be like spreading butter on bread. Take like a little side here, slide it right down the middle, a little extra cream cheese in there, and boom. Should look just like that. Just wanna even with the jalapeno itself. You don't wanna go too much more than that because this cream cheese will puff up when it is smoking and it will just end up on your grill grate. So you don't wanna overfill it too much. You're still gonna get a little bit of that, but I always just fill right to be level with the jalapeno itself. All right, cool. So cream cheese is all on the inside of the jalapenos. We're good to go there. As you can see, I have a fair amount of extra cream cheese here. So I probably could make double this batch with one of those blocks of cream cheese. Now, that said, I always buy, just for my wife and I, and you can double this, as you go, but for my wife and I always buy 5 jalapenos at the store because that makes 10 total jalapeno poppers. And most packs of bacon, a good rule of thumb is 10 slices. So I look at 5 jalapenos as 10 poppers and 1 pack of bacon. So that's what we're making today, but as you saw from there, we do have more cream cheese if needed. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice this bacon open, and it's time to wrap it. And what makes these so good? Bacon. All right. Now, when I purchase bacon at the store, I usually don't like to get thick cut bacon. And the reason I don't want to get super thick cut bacon, I love thick cut bacon for my breakfast in the morning, but I don't want it to be too thick when I'm wrapping these jalapeno poppers because I want it to be a little pliable and be able to wrap all the way around the bacon. Around the popper itself. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So right here at the top, I'm going to lay this part flat, and then I'm just going to tightly wrap all the way around until it covers it and back up again. That looks perfect right there. And then you're just going to continue this process. So just to show you one more time, right down the middle, and then you're going to wrap it around. That's a little excess bacon, but that's no problem. A little extra bacon never hurt anybody. All right, I'll see you in about 10 seconds of fast-forwarded music. All right, guys, so the poppers are all wrapped. It left me with 2 strips of bacon left. So like I said, my guesstimate is always about 10 slices of bacon. Looks like we could have actually bought 1 more jalapeno. So if you have jalapenos in the fridge, this is where I would just quickly cut one open, obviously slice it out and make yourself a couple extra poppers. So this next step though that we're gonna dive into after these have been wrapped with the seasoned cream cheese on the inside and now tightly with the bacon, should look just like that. This next step is crucial and super, super important. These are not ready to go on the smoker. They need some seasoning before they do so. So I'm gonna pop my gloves off here on one of them, and I'm gonna go over the 2 types of seasonings that I use on the exterior of this. So this one is called Honey Hog. Honey Hog is another seasoning from Meat Church. This is my wife's favorite seasoning. People that have gotten into barbecue that are friends of mine and I've gotten in, I say, hey, you gotta start with Honey Hog. Honey Hog is awesome on any sort of ribs, pork shoulder, and obviously it goes hand in hand with bacon in this pork butt. It's a sweeter, I wouldn't even call it like sugary, but it's, for lack of a better term, it's sweeter than it is salty. But this is fantastic, a real crowd pleaser. So I'm always gonna go what I like to do first, let me say, is I like to flip over the poppers. So let me do that. And the reason I do that is just they're gonna go on the grill right side up. So I like to season the backside first. So nonetheless, we're gonna do about half of these with Honey Hog. I like Honey Hog myself, but I'm gonna tell you my favorite seasoning here in a second. Now, when you are seasoning, I always recommend seasoning, 8 to 10 inches above where the actual meat is. You just get a more even coat and even distribution of the seasoning itself. So always season up just a little bit higher. All right, the other seasoning I really like to use, and this is more of a pepper forward. It's gonna keep the spice more of the jalapenos there. So the Honey Hog is more of your sweet heat. This is gonna be more of your heat. And this is a pepper forward spice from Rolling Bones Barbecue. They're out of Charleston. Highly recommend checking him out. His videos are awesome. But this is a pepper forward perpetual beef from Rolling Bones. This is one of my favorite seasonings and it goes so good on jalapeno poppers. So I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle that on there. Perfect. And then I'm gonna flip all these guys over for one last seasoning, and then they are ready to go on the smoker. So while I'm flipping these over, I'm gonna talk to you about how we're gonna make these. So these are gonna be cooked at 275 degrees. It's going to take roughly an hour 10 to an hour 20. What I'm looking for when I know that they're done is just that the bacon is turned more of like a golden brownish color, which usually happens at 275 in that like 110 mark. So that's when I'll go check them and see if I need to pull them or let them ride a little bit more. So I'll see you guys out at the pit. All right, guys, we're back here in the tundra. It's freezing cold, but we got jalapeno poppers to make. I just had my wife check. Feels like -6 degrees outside. I'm sure you can see my breath. My hands are freezing, and I've had the lights go down twice. So let's throw these on. 275, roughly an hour and 10 minutes. Even got the snow on the smoker there. But man, does the Traeger smell good. All right. That's okay. All right, guys, so we're back inside from the cold. Feels so much better in here. Man, these jalapeno poppers look so good. These cooked at 275 degrees for an hour and 20 minutes. You can probably see in the camera here, but the pepper on that one just looks awesome. And then the honey hog kind of gives those other jalapeno poppers a little bit of a glow. They're so good. I also have my Cadillac Margarita video here. To officially make it a Cadillac Margarita, I waited to put the Grand Marnier in. Go check that video out. This is a real winner, a fantastic margarita that pairs awesome with these jalapeno poppers. So let's give it a try, but I don't know which one I want to start with. You know what? Let's do honey hog first. So this is that honey hog. Let's give it a bite. Oh man. I'm not even kidding, guys. Jalapeno poppers are so good. They're so ridiculously good. Cream cheese is awesome with that flavor that we did with the Blanco and the extra cheese. Man, I can hardly talk. My mouth's watering. These are delicious. The honey hog too. The honey hog, why it's such a fan favorite is it really highlights the bacon. It just heightens the sweetness of it. You still get that smoky flavor, obviously. That's really, really good. My favorite though, if I'm being honest, I love the honey hog. But if I'm being honest, I love the pepper. The pepper isn't like that sweet heat. It's more just, it dives in, that perpetual beef from Rolling Bone. The pepper really dives into the heat of the jalapeno. I'm gonna wash this down quickly with that Cadillac Margarita. Didn't have to twist my own arm twice to make that again. That's so good. All right, let's eat this pepper one. Yeah, that's my favorite, man. That's so good. That's so good. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks as always, and until next time, we will see you at Gringo BBQ. Bye, guys.